and welcome back to another Mackie Motors YouTube video. Today we have this 2019 MG3 exclusive 1.5 on test for a wee while. We're going to find out what this value Super Mini has to offer. The MG3 has been on sale in the UK since 2013, and in mid-2018 it received an extensive facelift. The facelift kept the same architecture, floor pan and running gear as the old model, but has many new and improved features. For example, the LED daytime running lights are now incorporated into the headlamp unit, and we have halogen projection headlamps rather than the old style reflectors on the previous model. We have a completely new grille design, which is wrapped in chrome with this honeycomb style, and the MG octagon sits proudly in the middle. Both the Excite and the exclusive trim levels come with the 16-inch diamond cut alloy wheels, which are a new design for this facelift. We keep the side skirts and the creases in the door remaining the strong shoulder line. Moving round to the back, we have LED tail lamps now. These light up faster, stronger and project a further beam than before, with a larger rear spoiler. This car is a courtesy car from Mackie Motors MG of Brechin, and all MGs now come with a 7-year manufacturer warranty. The boot handle has moved from here down to here and is now an electronic release, and features a neat grab handle which makes closing the tailgate easier than before. Under the bonnet of the MG3 we have the same 1498cc, that's 1.5 litre, 4-cylinder dual overhead cam, naturally aspirated variable valve timing petrol engine, producing 105 brake horsepower at 6,000 RPM and 137 Nm of torque at 4,500 RPM. Changes under the bonnet include a redesigned oil cap, so it's no longer borrowed off of a Rover K series, and the coolant reservoir has been changed, so it's no longer buried underneath the bumper. This will improve maintenance, as lots of previous generation examples had overfilled coolant, even from some franchise dealers, because they were unable to read the gauge correctly. I found the old coolant reservoir perfectly adequate, but it's been changed. The MG3 goes from 0 to 60 in 10.4 seconds and onto a top speed of 113 miles per hour. If you are familiar with the old model, stepping inside this exclusive will be a welcome change. It sits on the same architecture as before, but we now have a new style seats, which are leather trimmed on the edges with the leather headrests and white stitching. A brand new leather wrapped steering wheel, which is borrowed from the ZS crossover. This top of the range exclusive model features cruise control, automatic headlamps. All models bar the base Explorer has this 8-inch colour touchscreen with built-in FM, AM and digital radio, Bluetooth, telephone and media connectivity, and also Apple CarPlay. The heater controls have been redesigned for better usability. They keep the same shape, but we now have larger physical control dials and the USB import for the Apple CarPlay feature. The hazard switch has moved down here rather than behind you, which will make it easier. And as alluded to before, the same running gear includes this 5-speed manual gearbox. There is no cup holders in the front like we had before, however we do have one smaller one behind and the storage area behind. I really like this silver tartan flash along the side. Maybe it's just the Scotsman in me. The gauges are the same as before, which is perfect because they weren't broken, so why change them? I really like them. They are bright, clear and very easy to understand, especially in the dark. And if you are like me and wear glasses for distance, reading dials up close can be tricky, but this is no problem at all. We also have the electrically adjustable mirror controls and all around electric windows with this isolation switch to stop dogs or children in the back opening the windows, and a leather padded elbow rest here. The door pockets are increased in size, which is good. As before, cabin space is fantastic and finding an easy driving position is perfect. Unfortunately, the steering wheel still only adjusts for height rather than reach, but that is just a trait of small cheap cars. It's not a huge deal. We have loads of headroom, which is great. A strong point of the old model was always the rear cabin space. But again, we still have fantastic leg and headroom, and these seats are very comfortable, and we have height adjustable headrests. The parcel shelf is now black rather than white on the MG3, and we have black plastic surrounds here rather than the old white. This is a little bit of a shame as it loses its uniqueness, but I guess having the black might be easier to live with in terms of cleaning and maintenance. And we have this little hand pocket here for closing the tailgate, so no more scratching the boot with your rings. The boot size remains the same, which is 292 litres. This is very reasonable for a Super Mini and I have no issues with that at all. We also have underfloor storage now, which again is great for hiding valuables. I've asked on Instagram and the YouTube short video any questions that some viewers might have about the MG3, so let's answer them, shall we? They're quite good actually. They're the same as before, so we have a very small triangular doom, but we also have this unswept wedge where the two blades don't meet, which is a bit disappointing, and I think it doesn't sweep far enough over. I prefer the wipers on the old model, but these are still pretty good, so I'm going to give the MG3 facelift wipers 7 out of 10. You can stop now, thank you. Yes it does. Well spotted. Now that we've had a look around some of the interior and exterior features of this facelifted 2019 MG3 exclusive, let's take it out on the road to see if the MG lives up to the octagon. MG, let's go! Steering around town speeds is definitely much lighter on this model compared to my one, which is great because I've always found a little bit uncomfortable parking my old car, or the old model that I have. The gearbox is very snappy, very quick to move about, which is great. And the brakes are very sharp, which is my secret mission documents. Again, the same issue with this car and the old model is the A-pillars are quite large, which makes pulling out of junctions a little bit trickier. One difference I have noticed already is how much more refined this car is. It's much more hushed, there's less road and wind noise. Although I think that might have something to do with tyre choice as well. The 1.5 VTI Tech petrol is very keen to rev and go, it likes to be wound up. this steering wheel design is much better already. It's far more comfortable than the old model. It falls really neatly to hand, and the bottom of it's flat as well, which helps. Although the steering is lighter than before, it still provides really great feedback through the wheel, which was always the strong point of the MG3 as a driver's car. The disc drum brakes are very sharp and responsive, and they have electronic brake distribution as well, so that the braking power is always transferred to the wheel with the most traction, which will help in adverse weather. The large 8-inch screen is great to use, especially with the Google Maps and the Google Maps through the Apple CarPlay. On sale at the moment there is an exclusive nav version which has MG's built-in sat nav, but if your budget can't stretch to that, Excite does have CarPlay as well. I would actually recommend using Apple CarPlay over a built-in system, as they're usually more intuitive to use, and Google Maps is always up to date. Visibility through the mirrors and the wind screen at the back is very good. The mirrors are the same design as before, which is fantastic. They're nice and square. Let's see what this Skoda wants to do. I'm going to indicate around it. Around town speeds it's dead silent, it's nice and quiet and refined. Now we're at a national speed limit sign. I'm going to drop down a gear and see what this engine has to offer. Pretty good for an actually aspirated unit. It nips away and it doesn't scream or shout or rattle about. Handles these bumps nicely. You hear them, but you don't necessarily feel them, which is good. And I'm getting lots of feedback through the wheel of the road surface, so I can adapt to that. If I had an electronic power steering system on another new small car, I might not be getting that feeling. One thing I really appreciate about the facelift is the seats. Not only is the design a little bit smarter, but the actual material and shape they're made out of is much better. But wider as well, which helps. And they're also a bit softer, so you don't get ache on a long journey. be nice, it would be a little bit more refined at cruising speed, and you could keep it in the power band a bit more, but for the new price of the car, you really can't complain. And if you're buying this sort of 18 months old second hand, a lot of cars that people are coming from wouldn't have had mine 6 speeds anyway, so it's not a big difference, it's not a big deal. From the pillars and mirrors as before, but that redeems itself when you're parking with the size of the mirrors. MG's done a fantastic job of facelifting this model. It still has the same fun, chuckable, dynamic characteristics as the pre-facelift. It's just a bit more grown up and refined, quieter, a bit better put together, which I think together is a really good combination. It's definitely a step up from before, so MG's definitely done well with that. Excite model at the time of recording in October 2021 starts from £12,495, and the exclusive nav on sale at the moment is £13,995. The exclusive adds automatic lights, a reversing camera and cruise control. The reversing camera is of good quality actually, although it can be a little bit limiting if it's raining, for example, and the camera gets covered in dirt. I think that's a road test well done. Excellent work, MG. So thanks for watching this Mackland Motors review of this 2019 MG3 exclusive 1.5. If you've enjoyed this video, please remember to like, comment and subscribe for more content coming soon. Take care and see you later.